What can you tell us again? I understand your limitations, but maybe you can give us an overview of kind of what's happened here from the 10,000-foot level again.
Okay, I guess it would be good to just go back a little bit. In December of this past year, we appointed the new superintendent, and it was a divided vote, 3-2. So there was some controversy that began at that time. And then one of the jobs for the superintendent is to go forward and take care of his leadership team. So he did. He went through and he decided to switch some principals around, and he reassigned 2 of the principals, and 2 of those principals have been asked to go back to the classroom. And from what I understand, they both have new jobs in different districts. I don't know that for sure. So the issue was one of them in particular at Mission Park. The parents really didn't want her to leave, but for them, they didn't know what all the information was about. They didn't have the confidential information, and there was a push to look at personnel files. There was a push to talk about the confidential issues, evaluations, etc. But the bottom line is that there's a lot more than meets the eye, and there's no backstory to this. There's no bad things going on. The issue is that there were facts that made the decision for the superintendent to change some people around. And I supported that. I supported that again with a 3-2 vote. And it was a very difficult decision to make, and as I know, I've done that with the city council as well. You get in positions where you look out there and you look at 200 people that are not necessarily agreeing with you, and former teachers, colleagues, parents, children. But the bottom line was I supported the superintendent, and I think that he made the right decision. And for that reason, people are going after me for the recall.
Yeah, and I think that it's important to kind of bring up again this kind of concept of what we're talking about here. Recalls, traditionally, and I've been covering California politics for 23 years, a lot of years, and traditionally were only the last resort. If you had a politician, an elected official that was truly acting out inappropriately, breaking the law or something like that, then yes, the state elections code provides for a way for the people to do something about that, and it is through the recall. But what I've noticed in the last few years is that recalls are being wielded like weapons, and if you and what's increasingly happening, in my opinion, is that we're not allowing the people that we elect to office to govern. And governing means sometimes making the right call, whether it's particularly popular or not. And of course, I can understand, the passion surrounding, a teacher or a principal in an elementary environment. But at the end of the day, your fiduciary duty as a governing board member is to look out for the best interests of the kids first and everything else second. And again, the hard part about an interview like this is that, and I'm sure you'd love to, but you'd be breaking the law yourself again, not again, but you'd be breaking the law just telling me about it. But that being said, I think, Janet, we can call you, and this is a good thing, a veteran, good politician. So I'm just wondering, what was your reaction to the recall?
Oh, I was shocked and surprised, quite frankly, because first of all, it's only a year from now. If people don't like what I do, they have a year to watch what I do, and they look at the governing, look at the voting, and then they can run somebody against me in the summer of 2015. The recall itself is going to cost $2 per registered voter, and there's over 9,000 voters. So it's around $200,000, and certainly we could use that money on the children in a better way.
Absolutely, and we're talking about that's a standalone recall, right?
That's a standalone recall.
It might be slightly cheaper if it's consolidated, right, with
That's
with a regular cycled election, right?
That's correct. It could be as low as 40,000, but no lower than that. I think that's what the election department told me. But the chances of it being consolidated are not as good.
And that depends again on the elections code as to when it's filed and when all of those, what did we say, how many signatures did they need?
They need about 2,300 signatures approximately.
signatures of registered voters out of District trustee area 4. If they get that, then a fairly arduous process the registrar, the county registrar of voters has to go through in certifying each one of those people. I get people were passionate again about this principle, but you know, we do have. There is a point where we have to trust. We have to trust that. That at the end of the day, the people we put on there will do their job and do their job properly. And that this torches and pitchforks thing that we often see with this, you know, recall thread is often just really inappropriate. I guess I wanted to help you clear the air a little bit too on something else. There was an accusation that someone filed with the State Fair Political Practices Commission. They recently basically cleared you. Again, can you kind of give us an idea what that was all about?
Sure. There was a kind of a long letter that was sent to the FPPC that suggested that I had a conflict of interest because 2 of the principals that were reassigned I had worked for before. But the issue was, for me, is I had retired for 2 years. I had nothing against either of the principals, and it was the decision of the superintendent, not myself. I just supported his decision. So that letter was sent, and I was basically, and I don't like to use the word exonerated, but basically that's what it was. There was no wrongdoing whatsoever, and that's where we're at. And I know that they still kind of beat on that one a little bit, but the FPPC is the final word on
Absolutely.
On it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, listen. Is there anything I'd kind of give you an opportunity? Is there anything you'd like to tell the people that are going to be making decisions about this? The people that are going to be innocently walking out of Nob Hill Market and accosted by these people. I'm just wondering what message you might want to send to them.
Well, I just ask that you look at the facts. You know, look at the facts, not just believe what you see that could be inaccurate, which isn't. A lot of it is inaccurate and not correct. And go to a board meeting. Come to a board meeting. See how I do. See how I produce. And look at the minutes for the last year. You could do that as well. Look at what I did in City Council. I think that people just need to know that I am there for the right reasons, and I didn't make any kind of a decision without a lot of thought, and I do believe I wouldn't go back and change my decision because I do believe it's correct. None of it was personal, and I just hope that people really look at the facts. I know that it's a little wordy on the flyer, but I had a lot to say, and I made sure that I did so. So I just would ask people not to sign the petition so that we can go forward and get what we need to get done with the children and stop doing other things that are sidetracking us.
Yeah, kind of counterproductive.
And by the way, Nob Hill won't allow them because I've already been there and asked. They won't allow them to be out of it. Believe me, I'm going to. I'm covering my bases on that one too.
So it's the Save Mart we have to worry about.
That actually might be true.
All right. Well, listen, it's just been great to have you on the show. I want to thank you for taking time and coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
It's been great to have you.